background is a licensed clinical psychotherapist. And in regards to what I specialize in is mood and personality disorders. So I've been in mental health for 25 years. I don't shock myself, but it's like, wow, 25 years. I remember when I first came into this field. Part of the reason, to be honest with you, was because of a friend of mine. We were in high school in 11th grade. We had to figure out what we wanted to do with ourselves. I said, well, hey, what do you want to do with yourself? She said, I want to be a psychologist. I said, oh, you're right. I want to be a psychologist too, because you're my friend, and therefore I want to be a psychologist. And then she had the nerve, and she knows who I'm talking about, had the nerve to decide that she wanted to now decide to be a chemist. I decided to stick with counseling, and here we are today, being able to have helped thousands and thousands of people all over the world in managing their relationships, their mental health, as well as their careers. And I'm just really honored. I'm honored to be before you because you could be anywhere else. And I thank you for your time. I thank you for your patience, these technical difficulties, but it's all good. I thank you for showing up. 80% of success is just showing up anyway. So definitely want to make sure that you get the information straight and to the point so that you can know how to quickly and immediately apply these actionable steps for you to know how to overcome anxiety. All right. So here we go. Look at this. Oh, Lord. I tell you, this is really hitting my anxiety because trying to be on point, trying to have it together, and then you have these bloopers. But it's all right. We're going to make sure that you get the information, and that is the main point, is to give you the information that you need. Now, who uses Canva? I might as well just go ahead and put a plug in there. Who uses Canva? I love Canva. So this is a shout out to Canva. You can go right here. I'm going to talk about the goal and the objective of this presentation, which it doesn't seem to want to allow me to do it. So this is what I'm going to do. Know that we are actually having another presentation tonight with Kayla Jackson. She's from Dallas, Texas, and she's going to also help me during this May is Mental Health Month tonight at 8 p.m. So mark your calendars, mark the time that she's going to talk about how to take charge of your mental health during this pandemic. I'm so excited with the lineup that I have for all of this month of May to make sure that you are sane, secure, and safe during these times, during and after. Because the problem is that we're thinking about right now, but how about after? Because once again, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, or perhaps fortunately, we're not going to go into what we are leaving or what we have left behind when everything has shut down because of the pandemic. And so now it is a matter of making sure that you are ready and prepared so that you can know how to manage in your new normal. This is your opportunity to create a new normal. So why not get ready now as opposed to when it happens and then you're not ready or prepared? So please make sure that you check out later on tonight with Kayla Jackson from Dallas, Texas. She is a licensed clinical social worker and supervisor, where she is going to talk to us about how to take charge of your mental health during the pandemic. All right, so we're almost there, everyone. I don't work for Tail and Blade. Here we go. All right, so as I mentioned, definitely want to make sure that you get this information, overcoming anxiety. Now, I could have easily freaked out just now because if y'all knew me, I am one who always have it together. I'm one who, no, that's not true, but definitely want to make sure that you have to make light of situations. This is how you control what you can. You can't control what you cannot control, but you definitely can control what you can control. You can allow, because it really has to do with a decision. You can decide to let things take and get the best of you, or you can decide to not let it get the best of you. And how do you adapt? How do you adjust? How do you make it work for you and your situation? So I'm so glad that we finally have these right slides. My name is Dr. Sarah Renee Langley. I'm a licensed professional counselor, among other hats that I do wear, but today I am your counselor, helping you to know now how to overcome during and after the pandemic. And today, because the fact of me asking you, what was the most important information that you wanted to know during this mental health month? You wanted to know about overcoming anxiety. So let's talk about it. The goal is to identify anxiety. to identify the triggers, provide coping strategies for you, and to help you to prepare for now and for after the pandemic. I mentioned who I am, licensed professional counselor, LPC, executive leadership coach, mentor, and advisor for clinicians. My specialty is mood and personality disorders, and I've been in the industry for 25 years. See, I knew a little bit about my slide. You can always check me out at drsararlangley.com if you are in need of counseling services. Because see, the thing is, what is going on for us today is the fact that it is our mental health that is most impacted. It is our mindset. When our mindset is impacted, then everything else follows. So you have to make sure that your mindset is in proper order. You have to make sure that your mindset is on and meditating on the right things. You have to make sure that your mindset is healthy and strong, and to remember that you are resilient. You've been through things before. Perhaps you may feel like it wasn't as worse as this, but nevertheless, you have been through things and you were able to overcome them. So pull from your own strength as well regarding whatever you've done before to get out of hard times and situations. Remember that you can still use your tools, your own internal tools, to help you to overcome anxiety, as well as other things that have really impacted your mental health, most importantly. We have to make sure that your mental health is perfectly just fine. So please make sure that if you are in need of not just someone to talk to, but to a professional counselor, because you may be in a position where you feel like you cannot talk to anyone. You cannot share with your family. You cannot talk to your friends, whether it's because you don't want to seem or appear to be weak. Maybe perhaps you don't want to feel guilty as if that you are now in need of a shrink, or that you may feel like you're crazy. Look, all of that has to go out the window now. This is really serious, and we want to make sure that you are okay and healthy enough, because it's one thing to be unhealthy and to still give of yourself beyond what you have in the capacity that you may be nil in at this point. You have to make sure that you are a healthy self, so that in turn you can then help other people. What did they say on the planes, on the airplanes, that we have to first put our mask on ourselves and then be able to attend to everyone else? It's the same thing that applies right now. Make sure that your mental attitude, your mentality is perfectly healthy, so that therefore you can go ahead and do the things that you need to do that's necessary to overcome. So please check me out at Dr. Sarah Renee Langley, or drsararlangley.com, actually, where I'm providing counseling, mental counseling, and support services to you. So it's drsararlangley.com. And shout out to JAMA International. You can check them out at thewellnesssociety.org. They are the ones who have put this presentation together. So just gathering their information and to help you to now get simple, basic information about anxiety, the triggers, the signs, and what you can do to help yourself out. My promise to you, this is what I hold dear. So I know that this is what I will deliver for you at the end of this presentation. Between now and the end of this presentation, you're definitely going to get clarity. You're going to be confident in yourself and your skills. You're going to be able to create choice. What do I mean by that? I mean that you right now may default to what you know. So your behavior, your attitude, your actions, if you're questioning, well, this whole situation has changed my life. Why am I still reacting the same? Why am I still doing the same things? That I need to stop these bad habits. Well, because your mindset did not change. It's always going back to the mindset. See, I come from a school of thought and a philosophy that the way that you think determines how you behave. So if you can go ahead and you can work out your reaction, your behavior, and it's going to only be temporary. Why? Because of the fact that you did not attend to your mindset. So your temporary fixes, the only reason why that's happening is because of the fact that you have to make sure that you change your mindset. You're going to default to what you know. If you do not present choice or an option to be able to decide if you want to go down a different path or to remain on the same path that's giving you the result that you may not like anymore, then that's what defaulting to what you know means. You're going to just default. If you don't have any other option, you're going to always go to what is familiar, what you know. So let's start creating choice, options for yourself, so that you can decide on that crossroad which way you want to go. If you want to go down the continual path that is not, serving you anymore or any further, or if you want to decide to go down yet, it may be unfamiliar, it may be scary. I talk about this to my clients all the time about the inability, no longer being able to function in the dysfunction. This is not about functioning in the dysfunction. You have to make a decision. Do you want to continue to function in the dysfunction? And especially when this unprecedented time had come before us, and you think that you're going to be able to now contour or fit your dysfunction and try to function normally when this is so abnormal. Look, I tell you right now, make a decision to create choice for yourself so that you can have a better outcome tomorrow beyond this pandemic. And my promise to you is to get creative. You're going to be creative because this is going to stimulate your mental juices. It's going to stimulate you to be able to make decisions, but also to know how to be creative, how to make it work for you, for your unique personality. How can you now look at what you do have and work what you have to get great and better results? So first things first, please know that it is normal for how you are feeling, how you are reacting. Know that you're not crazy. You're not crazy. You're not crazy. You're not crazy. Okay, you're not crazy. It's normal to have a wide range of emotions. Here's why: grief and loss. So because of the fact that what we have known respectfully has died, we have to now readjust. And in that readjusting period, we're feeling it mentally, emotionally, physically. And therefore, you may experience a wide range of emotions. We talk about this in the grief cycle as, there's 5 different phases. So right now you are grieving. The world is grieving. Whether you're going through depression, through denial, through bargaining, and that just means tempting fate, saying, I wish it was me instead of this pandemic. Or if you may have known a loved one or known someone who had a loved one who had died because of the virus. There's times that people will want to bargain and say, I wish it was me instead of my nana. I wish it was me instead of my dad. It's normal to feel that way. And then you have a place called acceptance. And you may not accept how this has happened, but nevertheless, that you get to a place of growth, that you say, you know what, it is, and what am I to do now, or this is what I am going to do going forward. It's not a matter of rushing to get to that place of acceptance. A lot of times, many of my clients in particular have shared with me how they just want the ABC. Well, what am I supposed to do? And how do I do this? And how do I get to that phase? Because I'm done with how I feel. There is no rush. It's based on you. It's based on your mentality. It's based on your readiness. It's based on if you are at that place where you have made a decision. Mind, body, and spirit too. It's not just about your mindset being part of this, but there are 3 aspects of you: mind, body, and spirit. So you have to pretty much wait until all of you are in alignment with being able to move forward. And you move forward based on understanding, not just knowledge base. Yes, everything is about the mindset that I'm going to talk to you about in terms of how to overcome anxiety, but it's another to want to rush the process, because that means that you didn't get understanding. You have knowledge, you're aware, you're insightful, but that still does not mean that you yet have understanding. You will know that you have understanding when you are at peace, when you are in alignment with yourself, mind, body, and spirit, that you now have insight and awareness on what to do without asking the question, well, what do I do? It's when you are prepared and you are ready for that answer, the answer comes to you. Not you trying to make it or force it to happen. So you're going to experience a wide range of emotions because you are grieving. This is a state of grief. It is normal with how you feel. You're not crazy. And please accept the feelings. A lot of times, of course, who wants to feel bad? Who wants to be in pain? Who wants to suffer? But did you know that that is still nevertheless part of life? It is. What are you going to do about it? Maybe at times we just need to just sit and just accept what our feelings are telling us. That's growth. That's learning. That's understanding. And then the answers come as a result. And what I want you to do is also name your feelings. A lot of times we just don't know what our feelings are telling us. Sometimes we're not even in touch with our feelings. So this is an assignment for you. I want you to be able to talk about your feelings. Name them. Are you anxious? Are you feeling powerless? Are you feeling lonely, overwhelmed? Are you feeling helpless? Are you feeling hopeless? Are you feeling angry, depressed, frustrated, worried, fearful, uncertain? Start being able to identify. When you're able to identify your feelings, it puts you in an advantage to be able to move to the next step. It puts you in an advantage to start to get to know yourself. You know, it's interesting, this pandemic, I don't know how everybody had treated it. You can talk back to me when I check out the comments later, but I'm not sure if this applies to you or not, but let me know, put it in the comment section. The fact that this pandemic had helped many of my clients, and including myself, to look at it from a positive perspective, meaning we were so much in the hustle and bustle of life that at times we were just floating, or sometimes we were just existing, but not really taking time to stop and be present to get to know who we are, to know what we really like, to know what we really want to do. You know, that's very interesting even to ask that question. Let me ask you, what do you want? It's such a simple question, yet so powerful or seemingly profound, because a lot of times we just don't know what we want. Same deal applies here in regards to knowing your feelings, being able to identify them, as opposed to trying to deflect or to distract or to act as if it doesn't exist, trying to deny or avoid them. It's time for you to get to know who you are and what you possess, what you're capable of. And it starts with just knowing and being able to identify the feelings. That's one way of being able to be in control of things that you can control. So please, in your time of meditation and quietness, start identifying what are your feelings and what are they telling you. I do want to tell you right now, it is okay to be in discomfort. Respectfully, it is okay to be, this may not make sense, but it is okay to suffer, meaning the feeling, to sit in the feeling. Why? Why do I say that? Ask me, Dr. Sarah, why do you say that? Who wants to be in discomfort? Who wants to be uncomfortable? No one. But it's very, very interesting how our answers, our freedom, our power lies there. I tell you the truth, if I had time to talk, but I want to be mindful of the time. So just know you have to tell yourself that it is okay to feel discomfort. Sit in it. Sit in the pain. Sit in these feelings. Once you're able to first identify them, sit in it is the second thing. Your answers will come onto what to do after that. Trust me. All right. So one question that I had asked you all to tell me or to let me know, what questions did you have? So one question that was posed to me is, well, what is the difference between stress and anxiety? Okay, glad you asked. Do you know? Please put it in the comment section. I'll give you a moment. What is the difference between stress and anxiety? What is the difference between stress and anxiety? All right, so stress is a reaction to a perceived threat. Remember, I talked about it. It's about the mindset. So in your perception, you feel threatened, or you perceive that a threat to or some type of posed danger is coming your way. So let's say, for example, that you are driving, you're on your way to work, and before the pandemic. And so when you were driving on your way to work, you have the right of way, but you see that a car is coming and about to hit you. So you're freaking out, you're reacting, you're responding to this. And so you either going to fight, flight, or freeze. You're going to, book it. You're going to step on the not step on the brake, step on the gas and get out the way. You're either going to freeze. You're going to step on the brake and, and be paralyzed, fight, flight, or hey, you may turn that car and hit them head on. I don't know what you're going to do. But anyway, the point is that you are reacting to a perceived threat. Your mind is really designed to serve you, to protect you. We have defense mechanisms. It is to protect us. It is to serve us. But then it's another when our mindset goes overboard and now it has us stuck. It has us stifled. It has us to not progress and move forward because of every single thing our brain is trying to protect us from. Sometimes we just have to take those risks. But that's another conversation for another time. We're just talking about how stress shows up. And so stress is a reaction to a perceived threat. So you're perceiving that you're in danger, and so your body reacts. So it also, the difference between stress and anxiety, for stress, it shows up in your body. So whether it manifests in terms of your chest being tight, muscle tension, difficulty sleeping, you have problems with restlessness, difficulty breathing, digestive issues, sweaty palms, heart palpitations, just rapid breathing, you may experience one of or many of those. Is that you? If you have experienced one or all of these, then you definitely have been stressed. And what you have to do is making sure that you regulate. You find external factors to help regulate your stress levels, whether it is through breathing exercises, meditation, mindfulness techniques. And these things you can actually look up on YouTube. See, my position, respectfully, as a licensed clinical psychotherapist, my position has always been to teach you how to fish. It's not about you depending on me or others for the answer every time. When the answer really comes from you, we're mirrors. We hear what you say and then we package it pretty and put it back out to you. I'm giving you all the counseling secrets. I'm not saying that you do not need us, but definitely making sure that you know and understand that the power is within you and that we are all here to be relational. We as counselors do exist for a reason, just like a doctor does. You'll go to a doctor for various medical issues. You go to a psychotherapist, a psychologist, you go to us, psychiatrists, you go for medicine, you go to see a psychologist or a psychotherapist because of issues on maintaining your mental health. And so at the same time, making sure that you use this as a tool so that you get to a place of strength and confidence in yourself that the answers absolutely do come from you. So you got to make sure that you use those tools, and there's plenty of tools out there. Google is your friend for now. You can go ahead and check out YouTube to find such techniques, breathing exercises, meditation, mindfulness techniques. You can check that out, okay? So that you can help yourself out in regulating your stress levels if you find that you are stressed based on this list. So that's stress. Anxiety is the result of irrational thinking patterns, but not just irrational thinking patterns. It's also fixated, fixation. What does that mean? You're stuck on focusing on the threats, on uncertainty, on negativity. So the more that you keep thinking about this in excess, overthinking about a threat or uncertainty or negativity or the pandemic or COVID-19, you definitely are bringing up anxiety as a result. Is that what you want to manifest? That's an honest question. Is that what you want to manifest? Let me ask you this question. What are you fixated on? If you're not liking the results that you're getting in regards to how you are responding, how you are reacting, how you are thinking all the time, and you're not liking the results that comes with that, then you have to question, what are you fixated on? Because see, you can control the way that you think. Here's how. Because respectfully, you have created you have become fixated on what results in what you are getting. So what you have to do is what I said earlier, replace it. Create choice. If you have no choice, then you're going to default to what you know, even when you don't want to. So you have to create an option. We're going to talk about that in a minute. What do you do so that you no longer are fixated on uncertainty, on threats, on negativity? We're going to help you to create choice today. So let's talk about the types of anxiety for you. Okay, so according to JAMA International, they came up with 5. And so I love them. I don't love it. I'm talking about as far as with the ones that they had come up with in terms of identifying anxiety or different types of anxiety. One is catastrophizing. I hope I said that right. I thought that was perfect in terms of the conversation of what we're talking about and overcoming anxiety during and after the pandemic. So when you're catastrophizing, if I said that right, example is that your mind is telling you that you have the virus. Look, so full disclosure, I think one day, I want to say early in March, I think my throat was sore. It was sore. And I was like, okay, I got it. Oh my God, I got it. And I was trying to calm down because, hey, I'm supposed to be this therapist. But let me tell you, physician, heal thyself. We can help you out. That doesn't mean that we can help ourselves out. So I had to calm down. I had to regulate my stress levels. I had to change my mindset to think on something else. I had to do checks and balances to see if, in fact, I did all the precautions, like taking the precautionary measures, washing my hands, not touching my face. Did I touch it a couple of times while we were talking? But, but I haven't been out for a month and a half, to be honest with you. So, but yes, you have to make sure that you're following all the safety measures and making sure that you question your mindset, even if you may feel your mind is telling you that you may have it. Another type of anxiety is threat scanning. So pretty much what it is that your mind is looking for justifications to amend your thoughts, meaning that, okay, so you're checking your body for symptoms. You're looking, first of all, how we are taught with our brains. We're going right back to some basics, all you therapists out there who are watching this program. So learn behavior. Albert Bandura, learn behavior. So we learn based, not always, and pretty much not only based on what people say, but it's based on what we see, what we've experienced, what we perceive, what we have concluded in our minds. And even with that, we have images, imprints that we take on to now match a mirror. So let's say, for example, I don't know if this is a good example. I have my phone. This is what is called a telephone. So anything that looks like a telephone or a phone to me, I'm looking for an image. I'm looking for a phone. Or if I'm looking for my phone, I lost my phone. And I'm looking for something that reminds me or has an image of what I picture a phone is. So I match that. I match what I associate or call that thing. Here we are with threat scanning. So you know that there's a threat with the pandemic, with the coronavirus. I try not to use that word or give it any energy, and I would encourage you to do the same. And you now, if you have signs or symptoms, or you really keep meditating and fixated on that, oh my God, I may have it, I may have it, I may have it, I may have it, I may have it. So you're trying to find things to justify, to match and mirror that, checking for your body for symptoms. To, because in your mind, you're like, okay, I have to have it. It must be so. I have to have it. And so you're going to find anything to justify, to confirm, that, to validate that, you're thinking. So that's threat scanning. Another type of anxiety is hypothetical worry. So you want to hypothesize. You want to guesstimate and say, the what ifs. But here's the problem. So now it's okay to worry. Worry is part of life. It's another to be in excess. So now, again, being fixated, always worry. Like, okay, well, I followed the guidelines. I've done the precautionary measures. I washed my hands. I've done everything. But what if I still have it? What if I have it? Well, if you've done everything now, I know there have been cases. There have been some cases that I have read and seen, more so read, that there were people who were not even involved or around anyone or stayed within closed doors and somehow ended up having it. But I'm saying, for the point of this conversation, if you're following the guidelines, if you're doing all the procedures, you don't have to now question and wonder, well, but how if I did do it? Or how if I did have it? Then what? Because now you're venturing off to it going down that slippery slope of perhaps, oh my God, if I have it, to now, oh my God, I have it. How's that serving you? Let me just ask you that. How is that serving you? Is that serving you? Ask yourself that. Hypothetically, I'm asking. Another type of anxiety is emotional reasoning. It's when your mind tells you that your emotions indicate your reality. So now we're prophets now. I feel scared, so that means that I'm in danger. I feel worried, so that means that I must have it. It's like you're misplacing. Your emotions are indicators, but you don't have to go that far to now decide that because of how you're feeling results in, oh my God, I have it, or there's a danger, I sense it. So please start paying attention to the type of anxieties that I'm mentioning. Is this you? No shade, no judgment. It's a matter of knowing these signs and symptoms so then you can know how to help yourself out. Oh, my favorite, fortunetelling. Another type of anxiety is fortunetelling. So, hey, this is when your mind interprets and predicts, predict as facts. So your predictions are facts. You're like, okay, I'm going to be stuck in this house forever. Oh my God, I had a client, I'm not going to name names because it's confidentiality, but I remember this one who every tool given and suggested, it could not overrule the conviction. That strong word, conviction. You may be at a place where you want to be happy. You want to feel better. You want to be optimistic. You want to be hopeful. But the dominant feeling and thought together always wins. So if you're telling yourself, I'm one for affirmations. I am one to say, hey, you need to speak into existence what you want to see. You want to speak your reality into existence. But don't get upset with yourself if you have yet to see it come to pass or come to fruition because of the fact that you are heavily convicted. Your belief is stronger of it's not going to happen as opposed to believing that it will. And you just have to keep at it because, see, that's how we created our reality anyway. We were meditating on what it is that we have today. We were meditating on what it was that we wanted to obtain or wanted to achieve or wanted to have, or what we did not want to have, or what we did not want to result in our existence. Isn't that amazing how strong and how powerful the mind is? That's why I encourage you to get to know yourself. Take this time during the pandemic to really come to know who you are, your emotions, your thoughts, your behavior. It will make a world of difference and put you in a position to be able to control your world. So please don't fortune tell. Don't do that to yourself. I know I'm not supposed to tell you what to do. It's really up to you. I'm not here to tell you. I got to be objective. I can't tell you what you should and should not do. I'm just saying. All right, so let's move right along into our final phase. So to recap, we talked about identifying. We identified some, the difference between stress and anxiety. We talked about the triggers to anxiety or the different types of anxiety. And now we're going to talk about, all right, what are the tools? What are the tips? How to help yourself out? It is a matter of being able to first tell yourself and know that you are in control of what you can control. Please do yourself a favor and no longer attempt to control what you cannot, but rather look at what you can control. You can control your mindset and you can start practicing on meditating on positive, sobering, happy, great things to get the results that you're looking for. Such as, hey, you can be in control of what you are consuming. You can be in control by getting the facts. And you can control by keeping healthy. What do I mean by all of those? Hey, in terms of consuming or consumption, what are you watching on the news, on social media, in the media? What are you watching? I wanted to pull this picture. One of my Facebook friends had this picture of this person wrapped up in saran wrap, I guess. It's like their whole body was wrapped up. They were in like a fetal position, eyes glued to the TV. And it was to say something along the lines of how they're pretty much are glued to this TV and they're going nowhere No time soon, anytime soon, because of the fact that whatever they were watching had them now scared to the point that they had to wrap themselves up completely in saran wrap. It was just a meme. But unfortunately, it is amazing how our mindset can be. I'm not going to even ask you, I'm not going to ask you to put this in the comment section in regards to if that's you, if you already started the process of wrapping yourself up in saran wrap. Please unwrap yourself. You don't have to do that. You can merely just, hey, lessen the news, lessen your consumption on what you are putting here, here, and here. So you do this by being able to now question. You have to test and prove. So if you want to be hypothetical, I'd rather you decide instead to test and prove. Try it. See if trying it means to test it. So is it from what you're watching? Is it from a credible source? We keep talking about the fake news that's out there. Is it credible? Is it uplifting? You don't have to always watch the news either. You can find things on YouTube, on Audible. You know, I'm not getting paid by them, but just to encourage you that there are places that plenty of places that you can now surf the web to find information that is uplifting for you. That is where you are creating choice. You are now putting yourself back in control. And this is the whole point of the conversation, to overcome anxiety. Put you back in the driver's seat of your life. Here's the facts. Did you know? Well, the numbers are mind-blowing of the amount of deaths, of the amount of cases, and counting. The virus is fatal in about 3% of those cases. And as long as you're following up with the healthcare procedures, prayerfully, you are fine. Don't conjure. Don't allow your mindset to take you places that you shouldn't go. You can be in control by controlling your mindset. You can also keep healthy, eat right. This is I shouldn't share my opinion, so I guess I won't. But being home is amazing. So as busy as I have been and the travels that I have done, I tell you the truth, when I used to travel and I would come home, oh, it's nothing like being back home in your own bed, eating your own food. And I tell you the truth, I'm enjoying home. I'm enjoying just being and eating at home, and perhaps being able to eat healthy. It helps to boost your immune system. It helps you to fight off, depending upon what you eat, depending on what you're putting in your body, can result in you having a healthy immune system, which plays a great significant role to be able to combat COVID. Making sure that you get your rest. And I understand that you could be restless, you're barely getting your sleep. Depending on your job, may determine on how much amount of sleep you're getting or quality amount of sleep. Nevertheless, you have to be in control of that. You have to find a way to get your rest. It is very and vitally important. And exercising as well. Making sure that you are moving at all times, moving, stretching. My exercise regimen, I'm so grateful to be in a group where we're holding each other accountable. And I'm always inspired to see how people are posting, when they're walking and things like that. I'm like, I need an intervention because it's starting to show up a little bit in my body. So, hey, full disclosure, I got to exercise a little bit more. It does do a body good, because I tell you the truth, you're going to love yourself when you see yourself in the results. Keep up with your exercise regimen. If you do not have one, make sure that you find one. There are plenty of social media groups that are out there that you can partner with, and you can keep up and stay healthy and exercise. These are the tips and tools that I'm encouraging to use in terms of helping to overcome your anxiety. And finally, this is what I want you to do. So this is the tool that I'm going to share with you. I want you to get a journal. Here is why. So you may have heard this before for those who have experienced counseling, and we're going to always tell this to you, all right? It doesn't matter what therapist you go to, we're going to tell you to get a journal, to journal. But journaling is amazing. Here's why. So it helps you because, hey, your journal won't talk back. It won't judge you. It keeps your secrets if you put it in the right place. And when you hit pen to paper, but when you connect your mind and your heart to that pen and so start writing on paper, or if you put it like I do, I have an Evernote. Again, I'm not getting paid by Evernote, but I like Evernote a lot. You can have an app on your phone where you can just quickly type some information just to get things off of your mind. Because if you have ruminating thoughts, meaning that your thoughts are circulating, it's constant, it's so constant, and you cannot sleep because you got all these thoughts in your head, get it out. Because here's the thing, if you don't get it out, it's going to come out anyway, first and foremost, through your actions, attitudes, and behaviors. So please have a channel that you can constructively channel whatever ruminating thoughts that you have going on in your mind. If you do not even do that, then it's going to be internalized. And then we're really going to have a serious conversation about mental health. So I'm trying to help you from seeing me. So take these tools as you may and see how you can apply it for your life. But I will encourage you to get a journal so that you can now be able to do a column. Again, basic, simple information that's easy to apply immediately. One side, you're going to put down what you can control. On the other side, so you're going to, draw a line on the paper. One side is going to say within my control, and the other side is going to say what is not in my control. You're going to write down all the things that you are in control of. You're in control of building your resilience. Again, as I mentioned in the beginning of this conversation, you are resilient. You have been through some things that you were able to get out of and you didn't even realize how. Here's the time to journal that, to chronicle it. 2 reasons why. 1, it will be a point of reference because what we're entering in, this is the point of the conversation as well. I want you to be prepared for the after. We don't know what the after looks like, to be honest with you. Just as much as we didn't even know that this was happening for the point. So prepare now. In the Bible, it says to prepare for war and time of peace. You may not feel that this is a time of peace, granted, but we don't know what we are going into after this is over. So prepare now while you're able. And it is a matter of being able to journal, to chronicle, and have it as a point of reference to help you to get through on your own. We are here for you. So you're not alone, but to be able to play part of your self-care, to play part of stabilizing your mental health. Journal for 1. 2, because, hey, our future is ahead of us as well. Our babies, the Gen Zers and whoever else after them. I don't even know what the name of them is now, but why not have a blueprint for them so that they can know what not to do and what to do? So journal, think legacy. Anyway, that's a plug. But I definitely want you to look at how you are resilient. If you did not pay attention before of how you've gotten out of situations that you thought you could never get out of, then here's your opportunity to start writing down what you are doing so you can follow suit with it. To follow the latest information and advice, so making sure that you follow credible sources. And again, be mindful, temper the amount of news that you consume. Don't worry if you listen. I remember I asked this question to many of you on social media. What are you doing? What's one thing that you're doing positively to maintain your mental health? And a few of you have said, hey, I'm not going to be on social media. After 5 o'clock, I'm shutting my computer down, or I'm lessening my time on social media. Great for you. And I need to follow that suit as well. So you do the same. Make that decision that puts you in control. Also, focus on what is important to you. Focus on what is important to you. What is important to you? If you find that your health hasn't been important enough, as more than the money has been, if I can take time to talk about that, you are, at the end of the day, I want you to tell yourself that you are deserving, you are entitled, and you are worthy. You mean more than money. Hey, if that's an opinion, I stand by that. You are absolutely more, and you're worth more than money because you are deserving, you are entitled, and you are what? You're worthy, you are deserving, and you are entitled. You are. You're way more important than money. And yes, you may feel like, oh, well, Dr. Sarah, it's easier said than done. I have mouths to feed and things like that. Again, that's why I encourage you to really take the time to meditate, to pray, to really have time of stillness and quietness and sit so that answers can come to you, where it can be a win-win-win for everyone, where you're not risking We're not talking about your position or your job. But who's to say that maybe you had time to think about this, or you're like, you know what, I may want to reconsider my position, or maybe a different way how I can go about it so that I am not sacrificing myself, my health, my livelihood, my lifestyle, my life, what's important to me. This is time for reflection and to make decisions. Again, as I said, to no longer default to what you know, because that's all you know and that's all you have to default to, but rather start creating choice, getting creative to see what can you do during this time to come out shining once we get on the other side. This is your time to really sit and think what is important to you. And please, I encourage you to add yourself into that equation of importance. So that is what's within your control. What is not in your control, even though I said in my PowerPoint that it's within your control, it's not. These are without your control. So this is what you're going to put on the other side. We made the column. One side said within your control. The other is without. This is what is not in your control. Other people's decisions, everyone. You cannot change people's decisions. So please don't do that. You cannot control other people's health. Respectfully. Hey, I have two cousins. I have one who was sick. You know, he had caught the virus. Prayerfully and thankfully, he is coming around from the information I was given. But all I could do was pray. All I could do was what was within my control. And what was in my control was to pray, was to be of comfort to his family. And so I encourage you that what is not in your control, respectfully, is other people's health. Do what you can, whether it's your presence. Your presence is golden in and of itself. But please be clear on what you can and what you cannot control. You're going to save yourself a whole heap of wear and tear on your mindset, on your body, on your spirit, on your heart, when you actually accept and conclude that these are the things you just cannot control. And it just is. You cannot control the government's actions. We are even not going to touch that. We cannot control the openings and closings. So you may feel like, oh, you know, I can't believe that they're opening up so soon. Or my God, why don't they open up right now? You know, why are they doing this to us? You can be on either school of thought with this, but just know that you can't control either one. So look at what you can control. And this is the tool that I want to share with you that you can do right away. So that when you look at your list, when you need those reminders, look back, like, oh yeah, that's right, I can't control that. Oh yeah, I can control that. So that gives you the momentum, the power, and the wherewithal to be able to overcome anxiety. So I hope this was helpful. This is how you overcome anxiety. If you are, hey, I've been encouraged to be a go-giver. So first of all, I've always been a giver, okay? I've always all my life have been a giver. I've been very altruistic, I used to get awards for humanitarianism when I was in elementary school and junior high school. Yes, I am tooting my horn. So I want to give this to you as well. If you found value in this presentation, please make sure that you share. Make sure that you let other people know who may be in need of overcoming anxiety. And I want to give this gift to you. Please, if you found value and you need more information, I created this tool. It is my Power Pack bundle on how to combat COVID. I'm so big on that. Combat COVID. To help you to know how to pivot and thrive through uncertain times, how to combat COVID for your mind, body, and spirit, and to how to combat COVID with establishing your own virtual business. Hey, if I told you, you may have to reconsider some things. So this may be the key for you to start looking at how you can do that. Please go to bit.ly, that's bit.ly, combat COVID, that's COMBATCOVID, free gift, FREEGIFT. So you make sure that you go there so that you can grab this free gift. It's totally free. And please, if I can be of assistance to you in any way, I know I just touched my nose, it was itching, but I'm going to, pay attention and obey the rules as well. please put in the comment section. If you found value in this, please let me know. If you have any more questions or if I can be of any assistance to you, I'm here at your service. This is Dr. Sarah Renee Langley. You can check me out if you do need me for any form or fashion in terms of counseling. I'm here for you. DrSarahRangley.com. All right, you take care, and thank you so much for your time. Let's overcome, because together we overcome and together we stand. All right, take care, everyone.